Welcome to the Lighthouse, to another resiliency session. And I have a beautiful sequence of somatic meditations that we're going to dive into together today. So let me just turn this music off for a moment. So welcome. Today is yesterday was the new moon, so we are in a new moon window right now, and it's the new moon in Taurus. And for myself, I like to relate to every aspect of my practice based on the larger home that we are living in, not just the address of my physical feminine body, not just the address of where I live and work in Wisconsin and the United States, but the larger narrative of what's going on in the cosmos as well. So when the moon is new, of course, our friend has shown up. When the moon is new, this is a very yin time. And so for myself, and oftentimes when I'm teaching, we go into more of a quiet, contemplative flow with the journey. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So today's practice will all be about the yin rejuvenative replenishment of your inner wellspring, so that you really feel like you're in your fullness as you move towards the growing of the light. And for myself, I find that when I do take that very sincere time to refill the coffers, then it's from that vantage, that inner vantage point, that I can begin to read every living moment as some kind of a prophecy, right? So that's really my hope for us today. She's a master at surrender. Check this out. So for those of you who know the opening chant, feel free in the comfort of your own environment to sing with me. Otherwise, you can simply tune in and listen and take these bija sounds deep into the tissues of your body, mind, organism, and allow it to bring you home. So, Lam Shude Shude Soham Vaham Shude Shude Soham Ram Shude Shude Soham Yam Shude Shude Soham Am Shude Shude Soham Sham Shude Shude Soham Om Shude Shude Inhale wholeheartedly. Hold on to the breath for a moment. And exhale entirely. We're going to start with some neck rolls. So sitting up nice and straight, allowing your legs to be relaxed. If you're seated on the floor, fantastic. If you're in a chair, be sure that if your legs are crossed, that they're uncrossed, okay? Bring your hands, if you can, to the tops of your knees, and we'll begin by circling to the left a bunch of times. Get into the dexterous nuances of the connective tissues, of all the subtle channels that are in your neck, that are in your shoulders, that are streaming along the front gate of the body, that are pouring down the back of the body. Let the eyes be closed. Let your tongue, the large muscle of the tongue, let it relax inside of the space of the bottom jaw. Keep this going for a moment's time. And then switch directions, please. Nice and slow. So when you're practicing in the privacy of your own home, you needn't be shy in any way about how audible your breathing might be. Really breathe in a way that's undeniably medicinal. It's medicine breath. Let it pour through you. Couple more rolls. And then bring it home. Good. So, I'm going to turn to a diagonal so you can see what's going to be happening here. Actually, I'm going to have a sit in rock pose, which is sitting on the knees like so. If that's not accessible for your anatomy, don't worry about it. Continue to sit in your chair, or if you like, you can sit on the floor, or as I was just doing, you can be seated on a block, which is a wonderfully sustainable way of doing a floor-based practice. However, if you can do this rock pose, I highly suggest that you check it out. So we're going to bring the outer edge, the blade edge of our forearms, wrists, and hands together so they can join at the elbows. The forearms are together, blade edge of the hand, and then the pinky fingers are going to be together. The inhale will be like this. And the exhale, the elbows will come in toward the sternum, so too will the gaze. And then there's a small collapsing that's going on in the belly. And then the inhale will take you out again. And then exhale. So join me, please. We're going to do this for the next few moments. Cultivate and sustain the tip of the nose gaze as you're in this portion of our meditation. Every time you inhale, breathe into the back of your heart, breathe into the back bottom of your kidneys, feel evidence of your breath, feel evidence of the inhalation in the balls of your feet. So checking out what it feels like and what it does for you when you inhale through the nostrils and exhale out of an open mouth. Be sure the palms of the hands, the eyes of the palms are facing the sky. Take 3 more, please. Inhale wholeheartedly. And exhale entirely. So the next expression of the meditation, the arms are going to be out to the side. And we're going to look to the left on the in-breath. And then look to the right on the out-breath, okay? So your breathing rhythm, the native breathing rhythm within your own body is going to govern the pace of your movement. So I'm not actually going to, I will here for a moment's time at the beginning, call the in-breath and then the out-breath. However, then I'm going to quiet down, because again, the focus of our sadhana, the focus of our practice this morning is that of a yin frequency, so that you can really tune into the inside of your inside. You can refill the coffers. You can drink deeply from the unctuous waters of the inner wellspring of your being. So arms are out at the level of your shoulders, and seal the fingers together so that the hands themselves are like plates. Palms of the hands will remain down. Now consciously pull your shoulder blades down. Tuck your buttock bones into either your chair or into your block so that your low back is open, so that there isn't any calligraphic curvature in your kidney region, okay? And then sitting up a little bit straighter, inhale left. And as always, we don't jump right into the out-breath. We pause, minding the gap, and now exhale. Cultivating the tip of the nose gaze. Inhale left. And exhale. Inhaling through the nostrils. Now as you breathe in through the nostrils, hear inside of your mind the sat mantra. And then as you exhale, hear inside of your mind the Nam mantra. My identity, my core nature, my original nature is truth. So again, we're sounding the mantra inside of our mind, not into the room that we're present in. Every time you complete the exhalation, every time you complete an exhalation, see if you can squeeze at the pelvic floor and lift that energy up into the ball of your belly, higher up, then towards the diaphragm and towards the bottom of the heart. So you're creating a muscular massage in the ball of the belly, which is really, really, really invigorating. Spread your fingers, please, and bring your hands down so that the palms can rest on top of your knees. And just practice a moment of the art of noticing. Noticing what's been moving, what's been thawing out, what kind of consciousness you're collecting through liberating the tissues in your neck. So moving right along here, the inhale will be the lifting of the left shoulder, and the exhale will be the lifting of the right shoulder. And we're going to do this at length, per always, these meditations at a glance look like a whole bunch of nothing, but everyone here in this gathering today knows that it's the continuum, it's the continuity, it's the repetition, and it's the required endurance to keep those articulations going with awareness and presence that creates a most remarkable field shift at every dimension of our beingness, physically, mentally, and otherwise. So inhale, left shoulder up. I'll do it on the reverse for you. And then exhale, right shoulder up. We'll be breathing only in and out of the nostrils. Tip of the nose gaze. Stay really soft, really relaxed, really receptive, really willing to receive. Even if it's only slightly, every time you exhale at the completion of the out breath, see if you can pull your abdominal wall in and up a little bit. Which may require that you slow down the rhythm of your moving meditation. It's been my experience that it's always the slowing down that allows us to get out there on the other side of time. Choreography of meditative pieces this morning. However, I just want to remind you that certainly the choreography is going to be super effective, and so you could continue to do this arrangement of parts and pieces and achieve a particular kind of result, which is always recommended. But if you're somewhere and you don't have a device and you can only remember one of these gestures, know that you can do just one. It's the power of one. You can do one of these exercises and it will take you there, okay? 1,000 different inroads. So we're going to stay in the lotus or the easy position. I don't necessarily have any of my feet or lower legs crossed. You could if it's available in your body, but it's not required. I find that this Sukhasana that we're in, this easy posture, is very sustainable, so you can sit and do this kind of stuff for a long time. So we're going to have our arms parallel to the floor, which generally means that they're just flowing right out of the line of the center of your shoulder joints. And they'll there'll be space here between the hands themselves. I'll turn to the side for the demonstration here. I'm going to sit up nice and straight first, and then I'm going to hang my head back. So this might feel confronting at the beginning. I know for myself, it always feels confronting at the beginning. But it's a very, very, very effective throat opener, okay? And if we are going to be human beings who are living our truth, who are walking our truth, and who are speaking our truths, then we have to have a very open throat center. And so this is gonna do it for you. Full power, very effective. But you might feel a little reactive at the beginning. That's okay, just hold space, have a big tent, and then be willing to get underneath the big tent and Rubik's Cube around. And so it's really gonna be the way that you're breathing here that's gonna be the big field shift for you. It's a closed mouth breath of fire. It's going to sound like this. I'm emphasizing my exhalation. So I'm emphasizing my exhalation. Every time I exhale, I'm pulling my abdominal wall back and up a little bit, which is creating this whole sort of like, imagine the bellows that a blacksmith uses. You are creating blacksmith bellows in the ball of the belly, in the lungs, okay, and super powerful stuff. So let's do it. So I'm going to turn to the side. You don't have to turn to the side. This is just for the visual, okay? Bring one foot in front of your groin, the other foot in front of that foot. Extend the arms out to the side. I'm sorry, extend the arms out in front of you. Arms out in front. You can't go through the shoji screen. Arms out, head back. Keep the mouth closed. We're breathing exclusively through the nostrils. Inhale wholeheartedly and keep it going. The moment you notice that your mind or your molecular body is being resistant, recognize that moment of resistance is a moment of transformation that's showing itself. Use your resistance as an assistant to help you take any kind of breakdown energy and turn it into a breakthrough. Open up as much as you can. Be the last pulse of your breath of fire. Inhale wholeheartedly and exhale entirely. So breath of fire, when it's simply done on its own, has a very electrifying effect on our transformation. But when you do it with this asana, with this form, and when you do it with this profound surrender in the head and the neck, again, it's incredibly electrifying and at the same time, incredibly soothing in the way that it brings you home into an incorruptible equipoise in your nervous system. That's good. So for a moment's time, I'm going to stay facing to the side so that you can see where your hands are going to be. In this next aspect of our meditation, your hands will be resting in the low back, okay? It's sort of the back, the opposite of where your belly button, of where your navel is, okay? So we're going to be making a mudra. This is the Venus mudra. Celestially speaking, in terms of the larger home that we are in our big sky home, this Sunday we've got a Venus gate going on, so this is a good mudra to be doing, the Venus mudra. You'll be weaving your fingers, keeping the tendrils, the threads of the fingers themselves external, so weave, and then the men will bring the right thumb on top and the women will bring the left thumb on top. And now engage the weave of the fingers and then pull your hands. You're pulling your hands, but for myself, I feel like my point of origin begins in the navel, but then it's exercised through the points of the elbows, okay? So feel that. So you're going to create this, you've got this creative tension going on, okay? Very oftentimes it's some element of creative tension that allows us to tune the instrument of our bodies. So create the mudra, bring it back behind you, and then you're going to breathe long, slow breaths. You'll make a puckered shape with the lips. Inhaling through the O-shaped pucker of the mouth. Hold on to the breath and then exhale out of the nose. You'll be looking at the tip of the nose. So move right into the heart of this part of our meditation, and I'll cue us when to stop. Let your inhalation be characterized by a kind of whistling sound, exhaling out of the nostrils. Going as deep as you can give yourself permission to go into the yin space of your innermost happening. And as you feel the air passing over the dampness of your tongue, feel how the breath as it's entering your body is kind of air conditioned. It's kind of cooling, definitely defined by a kind of lunar, silvery quality of stability and softness and patience and inclusion. Feel how your body, mind is resting in a larger and larger space of undifferentiated unity consciousness. meditation will be there later this afternoon. If you can stay, please stay on. We'll have a few more minutes to complete this meditation together. So for the next aspect of these forms, we're going to come into Gyan Mudra, which is a hand shape for cultivating your highest compassion, your highest wisdom. Okay, so bring the thumb to the tip of the index finger. Fuse the middle ring and pinky fingers together, and then extend your arms so that your hands are resting, the back of your hands are resting on the top of the knees. So the inhale, you'll look to the right, and on the exhale, you'll look to the left. Inhaling just through the nose and exhaling just through the nose. Again, see if you can cultivate a little contraction of an ascension lock in the abdomen at the completion of every out-breath. Okay, so inhale, right. Exhale, left. Squeeze at the pelvic floor. Lift the energy up towards the ball of the belly and the bottom of the heart. Inhale, right. Cultivating the tip of the nose gaze. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. At the pelvic floor, lift the pelvic floor towards the navel, back towards the heart, towards the diaphragm, towards the bottom of the heart, towards the roof of the mouth, to the crown of the head, and to the infinite. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. A few more times in this completely yin manner without any of my words. And one more cycle through, please. Still sustaining the tip of the nose gaze. Meditating on the miracle of your own existence. And then neutralize your gaze, looking forward. So for the last aspect of this meditation, we'll return to the rock pose, which we were in at the very beginning. So sitting on the knees, again, if that's not available for you in your anatomy, then just eliminate that part of the meditation. You're going to be bringing your hands into a mudra. A lot of us are very familiar with this already. The index fingers will be extended and connected. Women will cross the left thumb over top. Men will cross the right thumb over top. And then we're going to extend the arms so that our upper arms, the inside of the upper arms, will be alongside the ears. And I'm literally squeezing the sides of my head with my arm muscles. So on the inhalation, I'll be sounding Sat inside of my mind as a meditative mantra. And I'll be tipping forward 30%. On the Sat. The Sat again is on the inside. And then on the out breath, I'll be tipping back. This is not easy. 30% on the Nam. Okay. Bringing the truth frequencies deep into the center of every cell, the heart of your awareness, into the trajectory of your actions. Nam. Sat. Nam. if every time you seesaw back and forth, that you can find a greater sense of space in your belly, a greater sense of elegance and suspension in your spine, and greater softness in the space behind your eyeballs, an absence of tension in the attachment site where the bottom jaw and the top jaw unify. Last one, please. And find north with the spine. Bring the hands and the arms down in front of your body and into your lap. Have a moment of assimilation from metabolizing the meditation. Feeling how it has definitely affected your molecular body, but also affected all of your other bodies, your etheric bodies, your behavioral bodies, your subtle bodies. Inhale wholeheartedly. And exhale entirely. Satanam, friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful day.